I jokingly say to my colleagues on the Board of Supervisors that I represent the city and the other 10 supervisors represent the county. District 3, bounded by Van Ness to the west and the Bay to the north and to the east, and Geary and Post Street to the south, is the densest, most urban part of San Francisco. And the different histories and legacies of the individual neighborhoods within that area have an incredible contribution to the ethnic and historic fabric of the city, whether it's Chinatown or where the oldest set of buildings in San Francisco exist in Jackson Square, the old wooden stevedore, shacks on the east side of Telegraph Hill. It's about its people and it's about the physical fabric, and I think that's why it is a tourist destination. It's got the most touristed sites in the entire city: Fisherman's Wharf, the Crooked Street, Coit Tower, you name it. And it's really the heart and soul of the city, District 3 is.
San Francisco's Chinatown is the most unique in the world because, not because of its history alone. This is a living, breathing, evolving community since the Chinese Americans first arrived in the United States. You don't need to travel to Hong Kong. You don't need to travel to China or Asia. You find everything here in Chinatown.
People have talked about Fisherman's Wharf and being a little bit honky-tonk. Well, I'll tell you what, I think it is the only place in San Francisco that allows you to come and have fun. You are not expected to do anything else when you come to Fisherman's Wharf but have fun. Fisherman's Wharf is the #1 fish processing location on the West Coast, and if you go a little bit off the beaten path, which I encourage you to, it's fantastic. You can actually see working fish and crab fishermen and them preparing nets and traps and things, and it's good entertainment.
We have a lot of stores that lots of other neighborhoods don't have, so it's for cooks and specialty bakers and as I say, art galleries. It's just a really great neighborhood.
You can stand in front of my store and I can get you a hotel room for $40 a night here. I can walk within 5 blocks of here and get you a hotel room that's going to be $8,000 a night. I can also get you an apartment that's going to be in the $400 range and another apartment that's in the $10,000 a month range, all within 5 blocks. To say nothing about the number of bars, restaurants around here, and hotel rooms. We have more hotel rooms here than almost any other neighborhood.
It's just a nice neighborhood. It's upscale. Everything is right outside my door. Got the best restaurants in town, I think. Transportation's good. And I really appreciate not needing a car.
I like the neighborhood because it's picturesque. They have beautiful views, beautiful buildings to look at as you walk around. It's central to things. Central to the activities of the city, shopping, restaurants, beautiful museums and sites, and it's just a great place to live.
I have colleagues from other districts that come in on a Monday morning and they've had homicides in their district over the weekend. The district that I represent is not plagued by that kind of violent crime.
We're not the only ones facing the difficulties of prostitution, of drug dealing, and of tagging and graffiti. That's the 3 biggest that we have. We have addressed the prostitution and drugs before, and a moderate improvement was made. A couple of 6 months go by and we're back to the problem again because Oakland has taken certain action that has pushed the activity back to our city.
The most significant problem at Fisherman's Wharf is the homeless situation.
One of the most significant problems is housing in our community. Most of our buildings are very old, and they have all been paid up 100 years ago. And the landlords take in the rental and basically put very little back in terms of investment.
We have to preserve the existing housing stock so we don't lose it, and we have to maximize opportunities for new housing in infill sites that may exist. Because it's such a dense neighborhood, open space and recreation is also very important. Chinatown has been long regarded as having the highest need for open space and recreation and having the least amount of open space per capita of any other neighborhood in the entire city.
Every 10, 15 years, you have a whole new generation of new immigrants. How do you integrate those new immigrants into a new society?
We have seen in working with a lot of youth in Chinatown that we really need to address a whole bunch of different issues with them. And it is not just about staying out of gangs. It's really about socialization. It's about learning how to cope with this country, especially if they're a new immigrant. It's about learning the system, both for education but also for employment. And that's also about working together and living together with other races in this city.
We have all of the problems that citywide has, except double that. Daytime, our population is double because of the tourism and the daytime, city workers. So, because we are at the edge of financial district and the hotel district, so we have added burdens, whether it's street cleaning, garbage collection, or what have you. So the city has not done its duty to do extra street cleaning, extra garbage pickup.
A big city has a lot of budget problems. They have limited amount of money that they can deal with, of course. And what goes on here, what goes on everywhere else, stretches each department, whether it's the police, the fire, the DPW, all those departments get stretched.
We want more feet on the street in terms of the increased prostitution and drug dealing that has been going on.
I think one of our problems is, as with the rest of the city, is when you see it out there, streetwalkers out there. When there are houses of prostitution that are in a building, people don't complain. The role the supervisor has played is a very good one. He wants to make sure that not everybody is pointing a finger at somebody else. And,
good point.
And taking,
well
taking responsibility for what they can do. As again, it's an urban environment. When they have some problems, it's not, the police can't do everything, they are limited. But some of the things that have been happening are that we have a huge increase in DPW's presence here by having more city workers cleaning the street, walking around, inspectors, along with policemen. People who are doing things illegally do not want to be seen by officials, whatever kind of official there are.
The biggest problems in this neighborhood are parking. There is no parking. And keeping the streets clean and the neighborhood a friendly place. We want to make sure high-rises don't pop up all over. We want to have the character on the streets maintained, definitely the height limits. Well, we have a problem with tourist attractions and the residents. Our major problem is the Crooked Street, Lombard Street at Hyde.